parties had her sympathy. The senior registrar had looked tired out before he had even started work this morning, and the clinic patients naturally weren't going to like being fobbed off by being seen by someone, medically speaking, they thought anyway, still wet behind the ears. And for another thing, they weren't going to like the way he dressed any more than Shirley did. Informally, was how she had described it to her mother. Not even a jacket. Now their Dr. Paul Maggie was quite different. He always wore a dark pinstripe suit under his spotless white coat, and he was never seen at the hospital in the mornings without his bow tie and floral buttonhole. A fresh one every day, Shirley reported again and again to her mother. This week it had been the tiniest of yellow carnations. Late for his clinic or not, as far as Shirley Partridge was concerned, Dr. Paul Maggie was a great man, and in her considered opinion the patients were lucky even to catch a quick glimpse of him. That alone, just setting eyes on him, did some of the people who were ill a lot of good. They said upstairs at the hospital that he'd only got to step onto the ward for the atmosphere to change at once. Electrify, some of the nurses said. St. Ninian's Hospital? Accident and emergency? Of course, right away. They always answered quickly at that unit, which was something. St. Ninian's Hospital? Lorkin Ward? Putting you through. For some long-forgotten antiquarian reason, the wards at St. Ninian's Hospital had been named after noted medical practitioners of the 16th century. Ringing now, sang Shirley in her working voice. There was nothing in any way electrifying about the way in which Dr. Martin Fryer entered the medical outpatients clinic that morning. Dr. Maggie's senior registrar was so tired that for 2 pins, or better still, an unbroken night's sleep, he would have given up the profession of medicine altogether there and then. He moved into the consulting room at the clinic now with the slow, measured step of one consciously conserving his reserves of energy. "Big clinic today, sister?" he asked. "Not particularly," she said kindly, bending the truth a little, and knowing that he would be feeling better after coffee time. "Anything interesting? 1 or 2 of the new cases, perhaps?" She placed the virgin folder that indicated a fresh patient in front of him. The sight of thin, unsullied hospital medical records always cheered the young doctors, just as a pile of thick, fat ones awaiting them on the desk sent a sigh of despair through whoever was taking the clinic. The thick folders usually belonged to those who were called heart-sink patients, for the very good reason that they caused just that very sensation in the breasts of their weary doctors. Thin folders at least offered the chance of making an interesting diagnosis. The senior registrar picked up the blank record of a new patient. "Mrs. Mabel Allison of Great Rudon. That's right out in the country, isn't it? All right, sister. Just give me half a minute to read the GP's referral letter, and then you can call her in." At the same time, Shirley Partridge was answering a call on her switchboard in yet another way. "Morning, Tracy," she said, there being no need to inquire who would be on the end of this particular line. It was a direct landline connection between St. Ninian's Hospital, which was on the coast at Kinnisport, and the Bearbury District General Hospital over in Bearbury, the market town in the centre of rural Calleshire. The hospital at Bearbury was a spanking new one, with state-of-the-art equipment and all that medical technology could dream up in the name of progress. St. Ninian's, on the other hand, was an old poor-law institution. Not to put too fine a point on it, it had been a workhouse before the advent of the National Health Service. True, it had been upgraded as far as was humanly possible. Even now there was an artist labouring away on the painting of a colourful mural in the main entrance hall. But there was still that about the old raw brick building which betokened a more rugged past. "That you, Shirl?" asked the voice at the other end of the landline. The 2 hospitals were run in tandem under one unified health authority. They shared consultant staff, which was no problem, and some facilities, which was the cause of a lot of rancour. In theory, and at a pinch when beds were short, they would house each other's patients, but it didn't happen often, and never without some delicate horse-trading over waiting lists. "Listen, Shell," said Tracy, who, as Shirley regularly complained to her mother, had no proper respect for her elders. "You got Dr. Beaumont over there?" Shirley Partridge didn't need to look up at the start.